Good evening, everyone, and
Uh,
welcome to TPO Esports. Um, Tonight we are
I'm
hosting a
doing my
game
job, boy.
between Clown Gaming and the TPO Goats. And
This
I
is out
am,
of the Blue Otter League tournament series, by the way.
yeah, I am Jim Halpert, joined by Loki Bear tonight. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Minus the one person that left the lobby that may cause a problem, but hey, I'm doing well. How are you today, Jim? I like lost my
Pretty
train of
good,
thought here.
pretty good. Long
We
day
do
at
have
work, but
cat cam.
nice time to
Cat cam
relax.
was activated.
Yes, the cat cam.
Yes. Um, it's just Riot client, small indie company, so apparently kick somebody out. I believe they're just getting into draft. They're getting ready for it.
You're getting ready for it right now.
I'm expecting insane series. They're gonna bring it to 3 games, and yeah, that's what I want to see, anyways.
Yeah, it will definitely be something exciting. Um, a three-game series would be fun. I don't know if
Yeah.
um, it'll go the full three, but I always enjoy a full three game series. Keeps
I will
everybody
not
on
be
their
using
toes.
any of my channel points tonight because Jim yells at me every time I do. So,
Listen, that's because you vote for one side and then that side loses.
oops. So um, they're apparently the client is crashing. I hope everyone's enjoying the nice little update that like completely freaked me out when I logged on earlier because I saw like red and I was like, wait a minute, this is not supposed to be like this. But yeah, apparently there's a bunch of new changes coming. So I believe that is it Milio has been okayed for everyone to play.
Yes.
I'm betting that somebody picks him in this series because everyone's been patiently waiting for him to be like released. It does look like the teams are going into a draft now. Then there's the Anivia band that is directed at the mid laner Deathflow. Zach's band comes in on the side of TPO Ghosts.
See the Cassiopeia ban. So a lot of bans in the mid lane so far. And we see an Alawi going up towards that top lane. Just to run down these teams right now. For Clown Gaming, which is on the blue side, we have Feathers and Fur in top lane, Occupational Hazard in jungle, Dragonic 70 in mid lane, Sparky Human in ADC, and Fantasy Star in support. And then for TPO Goats, we have Crizzle Blizzle, Caxi, Il Deathlow, Downfall, and Ghost for their team. And we do see a Sejuani and a Varus ban, and then that first pick, Zaya.
How are you feeling about Zaya since her mini nerf
I
that
don't
she
think
had?
it's that impactful of a nerf. She still does a lot of what she was good at. She's a safe champ because of that ult, as well as just having a lot of easy potential with the feather recall to create potentially a high amount of CC while also doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, I really hope that you're paying attention to client chat right now.
No, I did notice it.
The Silver, Silver is locked in on the side of TPO goes. Silver is always like a solid pick, especially against a what's her name? Holy crap!
Zaya, We do
Yeah,
see the set picked up as well. I'm guessing that's going to be in top lane, but I've
set
seen it
support
run as support, as jungle,
mid.
but more than likely it's going to be in Crystal Blizzle's hands up in top lane.
All right, let's see. What's the second pick for Clown Gaming? Is it Urgot? They are not my favorite people.
Just
I've been
because you play,
asking for Urgot.
and because you ask for Urgot is the reason why you get Christmas skins.
That is also very true. But Urgot Christmas skin. So we are all very thankful for that. But no, I'm wanting to see Urgot played because
And a
no
Jarvan
one
locked
picks
in for
him.
the jungle.
Oh, that's kind of terrifying, slightly.
So Jarvan's actually high in priority for jungle right now. He just gives so much potential over. It's going to be one of those things that you kind of have to look at it and go like, okay, if they're taking Jarvan, we have to make sure that they don't have any sort of wombo combo because that's what Jarvan is good at. He
Yeah.
ults a large group, and then if there's, depending on who's there, you might just get shredded through by the enemy
Um,
team.
we see a Mordekaiser locking on the side. TPO goes. So either it's a set jungle or it's a Mordekaiser jungle. Or
I would
Mordekaiser mid, but I don't think I've seen Deathloop play Mordekaiser, so
I would probably say Caxi because I believe I've seen him play it before previously on
playing
the stream.
Mordekaiser?
Yeah.
Oh,
Um, so there's a Victor. So what I would want here for a ban, probably like an Aurelion Soul, just because of
I was
what it
gonna say
gives.
Aurelion Soul, but or if
Potential
you
with
don't
that
want to see that
Jarvan.
new the Milio.
I don't think Milio's
Because
too.
remember he has um the ult which cleanses
Yeah, but they're
stuff.
not gonna have a lot of. They don't have a lot of like full big area CC. I don't think
Yeah.
Melio ult works on Mordekaiser ult.
I don't know, I'll have to try it.
It might work if he's in there. I don't think it works if you get yanked in and your Melio's just spamming that R button. I don't think you're going out. I think you're staying in
Probably
there
not.
and he's just going on cooldown.
I am like curious though if I can.
But I that's a very interesting ban. It looks like Dathla was somebody that they wanted to target on Cloud Gaming, getting
Apparently. Why
4
would
out of
it
the
what
5 bans on their side. We do see the Vagar come in for him as well, so he is kind of deeper in his champion pool there on that
I
Vagar,
mean
but
they
still
just
able.
kinda like banned him out. I mean the Vagar cage will become helpful later on
Yeah,
in
it'll.
team fights and whatnot.
And
Oh.
there's a Silas. Um, does have some decent ults to steal. The set ult he can steal and kind of get in on that back line. Mordekaiser he can turn a 1v1 into a 2v2 if he really wants to.
Or
Vagar
Sipper to
ult
get away.
itself. Sivers isn't the best for him. Um,
It's not, but
that's probably the
remember
worst
when
out
you
of all
played
four that I've
remember when
shown.
you played Scion and he just kept stealing your ult to run away from you. So technically if you get into a sticky situation in silence, you kind of just take several and you go
There's
home.
a difference. You don't get that much movement speed where you're getting, you're getting away with ease on Sivir anymore. It's more along the lines of you get the ghosting ability and you get increased, I want to say, attack speed and stuff like that. You get bonuses to those
Yeah.
more than speed. So it's not as effectful. But we do see the picks round out with Seraphine and Viego.
Diego, I am so confused. Goats, you guys got me messed up.
So that could be a set support
It could be.
or really wonky. Set top, Viego mid, jungle, Mord mid, and then Veigar support.
I don't see our mid laner playing more guys thing.
I don't know, but you don't always see who is playing a lot into these
It's
comps, and like
more
there's a
than
lot of teams that
the.
practice outside of it.
I mean, that makes sense. More Viego, Veigar mid, Silver set. Yeah, I get. I mean, I can dig it. I have had a set support, and they did amazing. I mean, it was Justin, so he ended up like trolling me after laning phase. So,
Now we're going
um,
full cheese here. It's actually tank, Veigar
we.
top lane,
Ah,
Viego
yes,
jungle,
indeed.
Sivir mid, and then Mord set bot lane.
I hate it here.
They're
All
just
right,
gonna
in
continue
your
pulling you underneath turret.
um, in your unprofessional professional opinion, who drafted better this game?
I want to say there's a bit more of a team comp identity in Clown Gaming's comp, um, just
Oh my god,
because
my ear
they
fell
have
off.
everything set up. Um, while it kind of looks like the goats kind of staggered their way through it. I don't know if they
Mm,
wanted to keep Set as a flex pick there, as well as the Mordekaiser, um, but it kind of seems a little bit less off. They are going to have a big tanky front line, um,
yeah.
but it's going to come down to Sivir and Vagar scaling with those teams and how the Viego works with the team comp itself. Because
So
Viego is, even if he's not great in the meta,
yes.
um, he still has those resets that are the trickiest thing in the world because you can go from being the team that lost the first person to being the team that won the fight because Viego all of a sudden started getting reset after reset.
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to counter you on that one because knowing like this the goats team for the past few months, honestly I think that they had a plan when they drafted it, so um it looks like it's more protect the carry, and a lot of kind of like
Oh,
just frontline. So I
um,
would expect them to be able to fight
are you paying
or
attention to draft at all in the
no,
client? So
no,
it's actually Viego
what,
top lane and
it's
Mord
not,
jungle.
they're messing with us because they can
Oh,
switch in client.
I don't know what their rules were regarding.
Anyone can do it. You can pick it in any order. You don't have to pick it in
Okay,
LCS order. I mean, unless they are different than.
because I know that some places do. You have to draft in order, and you have to pick your champ, not someone else's champ.
I mean, does it really matter? You're all gonna get champs anyway. But I mean, that would just be freaking funny to see. Cause Dash does not play set. Come on. But you know what? I'll
I'd
give
be
it the
more
benefit of the
interested
doubt.
in the Viego top lane and then the Vagar support.
I mean, listen, they got me all messed up here.
I
I don't know
think
what
at
to
this
say, but
point, the teams are just looking to have fun.
I hope so because they like. I mean, because they also locked in Seraphine mid, so if that's a Silas support, I mean, I appreciate that they have a sense of humor. That's for sure. Y'all better switch because you're making my anxiety rise here.
Everything makes your anxiety rise, though.
Only you. Shit. There's good. All right. I'm waiting for it. This
I don't know if you noticed, Loki, though. Literally every single orb
there we
just
go.
went live at the same time.
I did notice that. I did. Um.
We're all sitting here like eight's the
All
perfect
right.
time tonight.
They all switched. Okay. Thank you guys. Because I was about to have a heart attack over here.
So it
But
is the
we are,
set support.
yes, it's set support.
Make
And
our top.
Vigo, it is Seraphine and Zion the bot lane. But we are going to go on a short a short break for the spectator delay thingy. And we'll be back for game number 1.
All I do is work, hustle, grind, hard. I ain't never gonna stop, nah. All I do is work, hustle, grind, hard. Level up until I drop, yeah. Independent grind, got no A&R. They used to tell me I would never make it far, but this vivid vision in my head is razor sharp. So much weight on my shoulder, I'ma raise the bar. Cincinnati flow, watch me crack the code. Sick and savage mode, might just catch a cold. Count my money up, yup, on my Casio. Give me a bag of dough and I'ma bounce, adios. Everybody know what comes around goes around. Middle fingers up when I feel broken down. My ribs are touching, I can hear my stomach growl. Make no bones about it. Yeah, I've been sleeping on a bed of thorns. I can see the exit door. Take me out this mental ward. Check the weapon drawer. Life's a checkerboard. It's time to settle scores. That ain't just a metaphor. I be rocking my shows and I pop the cork. Got my pockets on swole, cause my profits soar. Better lock your doors, cause I'm like the god of war. Ripping out your rotten core. Y'all are fake across the board. Ya tu sabe. I keep it moving cause I got flow. Trying to dodge every pothole. I'm a rapping version of Picasso. Invest everything that I got, so I chip in my cheese like nachos. Bet on myself and hit the lotto. Estoy algo cansado, así quiet. Everybody know what comes around goes around. Middle fingers up when I feel broken down. My ribs are touching, I can hear my stomach growl. Make no bones about it.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to game number 1 of the TPO Goats versus Clown Gaming. So, every time I see like everyone like move and like packs here, it kind of makes me excited. I'm expecting like some like level 1 shenanigans, and those are like my favorite.
That's a
It
nice
looks like they're
crow.
kind of all headed up. What one they're going with? Yeah, of course
No,
it is.
Jarvan.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I've seen that one. I don't really know what
It's
Jarvan's
Dark
going.
Star Jarvan. but
Oh,
it's like I want to say it's probably obsidian, where it turns that purple color from Darkstar into the like dark black and red.
Um,
Because like you
it
can see the
does.
flag that he just dropped
Yeah.
is the purple still, but the character itself is um that dark color. But we did see some vision go down by those raptor pits. Did see them go and take it. Deathlow's looking to get some of those stacks going already, landing some of
Yeah.
that Q. But both
Both teams kind of place some heavy vision down to kind of make sure that no one doesn't invade, which is smart. Both junglers starting bot side, so looks like they're gonna head top side first. I think that's how that works.
Yeah. It's likely going to be a very pivotal matchup. Both top laners are kind of on a bruiser side, but we do see an early level 2 from this Jarvan going in mid, as well as an early skirmish between Mordekaiser and Urgot, which is something that is favorable for Mordekaiser because of his passive. But we did see that the flash was blown on the Veigar off screen. So Jarvan was able to get that early level 2 successful gank for them to kind of continue the pressure forward.
I mean, are doing a good job of dodging these Mordekaiser to E, maybe? I don't know.
Yes.
I haven't played Mordekaiser in a while.
So Q is the bonk, W
Yes.
is the shield/heal, and E is the pull. The claw.
Yeah. Both AD carries took heal, so they didn't opt for the exhaust. But both supports took exhaust instead of ignite. So there are no ignites here on the bot lane. There's no ignites on the goats team actually, or the.
There's no ignite on either.
Do none of you guys like ignite?
I think they're just worried about damage, but that's a return gank by the Jarvan. Veigar's caught out. He's trying to get out, but he's going to go down for first blood onto the Sylas. That Jarvan's making a lot of quick work. He went red buff gank, blue buff, cleared his blue side, and then returned to gank mid. Because that flash was down.
The teleport comes in from Veigar to get back to lane. So we don't want this Silas getting ahead, and he needs Veigar needs to get the stacks up. I was hoping to see an engage from Viego, but it looks like he's just gonna take that back. Here, we do have Dragon up in about a minute. It is Hextech.
Yes, Hextech is the first rig. And we are seeing just the pressure difference between the support, but now Downfall might be caught out. Set steps forward to throw out the E, but now they're kind of caught in a chokehold where the flash and heal was blown by Sivir, and she actually ends up going down, trying to return some damage, but gets rooted up. So all 4 summoner spells all gone for this TPO goat spot lane. After the Sivir kind of stepped out of place while trying to farm, which allowed the Jarvan to come in that Seraphine to cut off that escape.
Yeah. Wow. This the top lanes, it actually is a wet noodle fight up here in top lane. They're just kind of like both whacking each other. Urgot they're both level 5, so Jarvan's looking, is he looking for another gank? Dragon is up. It looks like the Cryo may not be in Ghost's favor in the bot lane, but the bot lane of Clown Gaming's turning to lane. Kind of a slow start to the game, but
Jarvan is definitely one of those junglers that wants to kind of move around, get to those ganks quick, fast, in a hurry. We do see the Sylas going in onto the Vagar getting a good bit of damage down for that trade.
So that's kind of people just kind of like waiting in the bush here, but the direct-to-camera wants to focus on top lane. Viego is topside, kind of looking for that engage, but it looks like
Jarvan's
Urgot's
coming
gonna
in,
back.
right?
Oh boy.
Cage to make sure that he can step back from Vagar. Definitely doesn't want to die to another gank.
Yeah,
Does
and he
have
has
to
no
back
mana.
due to the mana issue.
Built here on Vagar.
You can. I don't know if it's currently the optimal build to go Seraphs. I have
No,
seen it.
a lot of them are building tier just for the beginning of the game and then selling it later on because they don't need the Seraphs. But even though it does provide the additional shield, it's not necessarily needed for the health later
Silas
on.
needs to
Just
be careful.
yeah, because looks like they're kind of roaming up, but they are able to
100
spot set and Viego down
mana
left
though
side.
means Vagar ult. So if he stays around too too low, he might end up just going down. We are seeing a
Urgot
lot.
roams down.
Yeah, a lot of vision control in those rivers. The goats focused more around Drake, while
Yep.
Clown Gaming's focusing around that Herald pit in that top river, trying to make sure that they're going to be able to rotate first. We did see Silas back and then teleport in, which is kind of pressuring down on this Vagar as he was not able to back there and is kind of stuck underneath turret trying to farm. Do you see that Urgot passive, not Urgot, passive from the Mordekaiser doing a lot of chunk damage.
Silas just took about half a chunk of health from the set roaming. The Seraphine seems to be caught out here by the Viego, but it is followed up by the Jarvan.
Flag and drag followed up by the Jarvan ult. He might get both, but Viego's getting those resets already. Set's now showing up. This second ult from Viego. They're trying to get a kill onto somebody, but they're going to be forced to walk out after Silas joins the group. A trade of 1-for-1. The Jarvan for the Sivir. Not sure that's the best play right now because the Sivir is already down in CS. And that kill going over to the side is just going to make them less comfortable with how much that set's been looking to roam.
Yeah, as Zaya's sitting on quite a bit of gold, and
Seraphine might get caught here. She's getting rooted up. The flash ult to get out, but now Viego is kind of caught in a poor position. The W comes out, it connects the root, and Zaya goes down to the Sivir Q as well as the Viego W.
I mean, nicely played by TPO Goats there to go back in, even though he was low health. Still chose to stuck around a little bit. So we do see Jarvan opted to go for Herald and not play for this Drake. So
it's a change.
It's a win-win.
Forward, flashing forward to throw down the ult. He's now getting launched underneath the turret. I don't know if this is where he wants to be, but he is able to get that kill up in top lane in the 1v1. Was able to dance around the turret range in that Mordekaiser ult to make sure that they weren't getting too much taken off of them. We do see this Jarvan once again showing up mid. Been there 3 times already. The flag and drag goes wide. The flash is blown by Vagar. Trying to make sure that he's able to get out of there and not give over more kills. He's down a kill, but currently ahead in the CS game. Jarvan's still there, though. I don't really know what we saw the end of it, but it looked like Jarvan went to flag and drag and pressed W and Q instead. So his Q mark went up. His Q went through the wall as well as his W shield, but there was nothing to bring him over.
We see Mordekaiser completed the Riley's Crystal Scepter first item, where Urgot's still working on the. I want to say he's going Ravenous Hydra, but he does have the Tiamat and Murktreads. It looks like Seraphion's going Moonstone. That makes me sad. I like the Leandre's build.
And
But I do understand for the healing.
Rylus is going to be big in that top lane matchup because he's going to get his passive up, and the Urgot, who's already a pretty slow champion, is going to be forced into pressure, getting slowed down by that Rylus even more.
Yeah, there's it looks like the Viego is just slightly ahead of the in farm and on his jungle item from the Jarvan, mainly because Jarvan's been like focusing on ganking those lands. Urgot has hit the magic level, so he now has his W and not on cooldown.
Seraphine might end up getting caught out. The flash forward from.
I know. Flash and ult from Sivir were blown.
It wasn't the flash from Sivir. I want to say it was the flash from Set. I think he tried landing an E there, but wasn't able to get close enough. We do see the Mord already getting turret plates up topside.
I'm not talking. Oh, Viego picked up a Sheen. That's interesting. I'm not sure what he, well, he built a note to Kraken Slayer, but this Mordekaiser has to be careful because now that the W is not on cooldown, the minute he flips him over, he gets stunned right under turret.
No, but there was just that trade of ults. Mord threw down his ult, and then the Urgot returned with his just to be like, don't turret dive me, I'll just ult you once you're low enough. But we also see the teleport coming from that Urgot to make sure he gets back up in lane and doesn't lose that experience in CS.
Well, he is down 2 turret plates, so I also don't want that wave crashing. The Herald is dropping mid to kind of relieve a little bit of, or to get pressure here in the mid lane.
Set is here as well as the Viego. They can catch out the Silas. The Viego matched and followed over the wall. The Jarvan is stuck in all. The Viego is able to survive long enough. We see that passive reset that it was able to make sure that he was untargetable and able to get out there. That could have easily been a 1-for-1 there, but the first kill went down in the favor of TPO Goats, and Viego was able to burn enough time to make sure that the Jarvan just was forced to run.
The game is very close so far, kill wise. There's not a whole lot of gold difference. The second Drake, which is no, it's not Chemtech, it's Infernal, is about to come up. It looks like both junglers are gonna fight for this.
Do they see the Jarvan's kind of caught out into the pit? I don't know if TPO Goats wants to be here because the Urgot's already in mid. Veigar's not anywhere close, and Mord is pushing topside. It's currently a 4v3.
Jarvan's waiting. He's just waiting on that bush.
Mord is sitting there trying to figure out. I think TPO Goats are just trying to buy time. The flash away from Veigar to make sure that he gets out of that engage. But Mord is just hammering away on this first turret up in topside.
They're giving him 3 gold.
Clown Gaming was not willing to make a decision and just throw away top turret in exchange for nothing right now. Mord's got the teleport and can come down here still. Vagar's a bit out of position, but there's the teleport coming in now. Vagar's now caught out of position though. Not the best, but the Urgot ult is blown really early as it's just to secure the kill. Set goes in with an ult as well as a followed up ult from the Silas. Sivers on the backline trying to throw out the boomerangs onto this team. They're burning through. We're seeing the Viego
Oh my god.
resets come in as they're just continuing to chase down. This Mord is heavy. They get the root from the recall from Zaya, but they're not able to get much more out of it. As TPO goats win the fight and are able to secure the Drake.
This is a Caxi diff. Most definitely. 5-0 at the 16-minute mark. Impressive. And he is able to complete his jungle item on that dragon. So he is very much ahead of this Jarvan. I think the driver needs to just focus on farming and stop kinking Vagar. But the Kraken Slayer is picked up by Sivir and the Gale Force on and Seraphine opted to go. I say this wrong, so I'm gonna let you say it. The hill song. That's it.
Trillia's battle song.
Yeah. So much vision. I love it. That makes me happy.
Do see a lot of vision being fought over by this set and Seraphine. Which is surprising, because normally set gets zoned off in those cases.
Right. Vagar is at 132 stacks. I don't know what that means, but yeah. I need to learn what the optimal amount of stacks are. So,
I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head.
Look at the CS. It's like even in bot lane. Top lane, Urgot's a little bit behind. However, he was team fighting versus just taking the turret up top.
We do see just what that pressure can do from that Mordekaiser as well as the Viego. They're able to just kind of walk in as a 3-man or it's the Jarvan off of that Herald.
They're playing exceptionally well, which is really what Goats needs at this point. It was a little bit of a rough season for them, but they are sure making it look like they've got it together now. Diego has a 500 gold bounty. That's insane.
Yeah, it's something that he's been able to kind of just build up over time. He's been involved in all besides one kill, and that was the Mord 1v1. And that Mord's going to be tanky and a nuisance because he went Jack Show.
Yeah. And now Diego has the Immortal, Shield Bow, the Sheen, and Herald. So it looks like he would either want to drop this mid or bot, because it does look like Silas rotated.
I believe the Mord right now is able to kind of 1v1 most people and pressure them down. It's likely that they're going to look to drop that Herald. I don't know how much time is currently left. Likely mid. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to drop it right before that Drake, though. That's going to be the move that they want to go with. Is drop it before some objective that they can take to pull pressure away.
Well, Baron is up now, so they're going to want to start thinking. It looks like Goats wants to take this Baron. Where Mordekaiser
you see the Herald dropped.
Ooh.
It looks like they're just going to go for it. They're saying, hey, here's a Herald. We're going to go off and do it.
Close to the turret, though. That's too many minions.
No, I think it was more of a distraction. We do see the Jarvan and the Urgot going over. They know that they're doing it now. Bit of risky because it is only 20 minutes. The Jarvan goes in, and the set just steals him from the ult. Shut down on the Viego already. This might be catastrophic as Veigar and Sivir are fighting. Meanwhile, bot lane, the Jarvan and the Mord are fighting. It's going to be Baron over to Clown Gaming as a steal from TPO, sneak from TPO Goats goes haywire. Sivir's now likely going to be caught out as well. Definitely
I don't think
kind of
that
stuck
Sivir
on the
gets
wrong
out of
side.
this,
I think she just needs to buy enough time where the Mord can take that turret in return, but not the
I
best
think Mord
play
gets his turret.
as it was a 1-for-4 at Baron Pit, and then they just picked up a kill and a turret on the Silas and Mordekaiser push.
But look at the goal difference. There's like it's hardly like maybe almost a 1K gold. Yeah. And TPO Goats is going for the Drake here. Everybody's there, so this is gonna be a fight they have to decide if they want to take.
Jarvan wasn't even able to go in and try to steal it. Something
No,
that
they
kind of
better
puts
put
them
down
at
that baby cage.
puts them at a do or die moment for the next time, where they definitely don't want this Mord to start getting even tankier. We're seeing him just chunking down and forcing a flash onto this Silas. The flash ult forward.
Ooh.
He's trying to get him on top of him again. The teleport from the Urgot's coming in, but I don't know if that's the right call with how fast that Silas went down. He's got that Silas damage. The ult comes through from Urgot, and he's able to get the shutdown onto the Mordekaiser.
It was a downfall Baron call. Alright, so now we know who to blame. Well, the gold is evening up. No, maybe not. The score lines are like identical, but
We're seeing some shutdown gold go over to Clown Gaming, so they're kind of pulling away after taking that Baron, where they were able to get a bunch of turrets cleaned up off the map, as well as a lot of kills in the past couple minutes.
I have to say that there is like this is still anyone's game here. It's just gonna depend because it did put that last Drake put TPO goals at soul point. So if Clown Gaming gives up the clouds, it's gonna be a cloud soul or a mountain soul, mountain Drake.
Mountain soul. Will just make that Mordekaiser even worse to deal with.
Yeah, I mean nobody really likes to deal with the Mordekaiser anyways. Once you go into the death realm, like you just kind of stand there, like alright, like I know I'm not getting out of this, so. I don't know, I'm impressed with how well they're playing and how well they're all putting vision down. Kind of even all over the place here. Oh, let's check Veigar's stacks is at 187, 24-minute mark. I need action, guys.
I think the next action is gonna likely come from this next Drake, but that's in like 2 minutes. Likely it's gonna kind of slow down. That Baron did stall out the game quite a bit.
Yes.
Where there was a lot of gold that was able to come in, but we're now seeing the 3-man group from Clown Gaming walk up and try to get something here. The Mord pulls in the Jarvan and throws out the ult. He's trying to do the best that he can, but he's gonna come out with the entire team on here. Veigar's pushing bot side. The rest of TPO Goats is nowhere to be found as they just started pushing mid. I don't even know if they're going to be able to get anything, that mid turret in return or not.
They should be able to. I think Mord was the sacrifice for that tier 1 turret in mid.
I feel like it was something along the lines of they just backed off too much when that Mord got caught out. I don't know if he over pushed and was the communication wasn't there, but
I don't think that there was anything that Goat could have done to get up there and prevented like what
I'm not
transpired
saying
there.
rotating, but when I last checked, everybody was mid, and when he was getting collapsed on and ulted, they were all at that tier 2 mid turret for them.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have had more pressure on the map, but it looks like Urgot wants this tier 2 top turret. The root was thrown out by the Seraphine, but Veigar's there with his baby cage, and he is doing some damage now. He does Everfrost.
We did see the flash from Seraphine burned, trying to get out of that baby cage to make sure that she wasn't dying right before this fight. She does have her ult, which can be highly pivotal in a team fight.
Yes.
If she lands it on quite a few people, she's able to just set up the rest of her team to just kind of do the damage that's needed. Zed's looking for a flank, but I think he might have spotted out the Urgot here. They're trying to go and commit onto the set, though. The flash away, he does get a lot. Not Sivert. Xayah gets pushed away by the Viego W.
Nice teleport from Morg to kind of like.
Do you see the Urgot pulled into the baby cage? The Seraphine ult goes into the backline across 3 people. Jarvan's by himself and gets shut down by the Veigar ult. Mordekaiser's just in the team, and he's still taken the Urgot into the death realm. Set ult into the backline, shuts down the Urgot, and they're just chasing. We're seeing those Viego resets come through as a 4th kill goes over to the Sivir, chasing down that Sylas.
What's he done? I mean, this Sivir did need some extra gold on it, so
but we're seeing that
Clown Gaming was a little out of position.
We're seeing that power and what happens when you give away those first Drakes. That Mord was able to step forward and just tank so much damage when the Jarvan went into the backline. Jarvan almost killed a few people, but wasn't able to get anyone as he got shut down by that Veigar ult, and then the rest of the team just got chased. And they could be chased because of that Mordekaiser Rylai's.
Yeah, and so this is the first game I think that I've seen a Wardstone picked up. And that was by the set. I believe that allows them to hold extra wards?
Extra pink wards.
Yeah. It's not something that I've seen before, so interesting. We do have Baron is up, Elder's up in 5. The teams need to make a decision as to what they're doing.
We see the Viego just kind of pressuring in, forcing the flag and drag after chunking out that Jarvan. Urgot's forced to flash away from that Mord E, making sure that he doesn't get pulled back into the rest of TPO goats and killed, potentially setting up for that Drake. That Drake Baron.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not Drake.
Big purple Drake.
Yeah, it's a big purple dragon.
There's the frog Drake in the. But we do see that Seraphine got shut down, but they're looking to just trade for this mid inhib. A lot of pressure going down. They gotta kind of set up to go through. The turret goes down, and now Veigar's caught on the wrong side of the map from his team. The Veigar ult is stolen. And Veigar blows his own ult and ends up going down to the Xayah. Set ults in the Xayah onto the Sylas. They're trying to get as much as they can. They had to stop the Herald as they were given too much up in the base. Shut down for the Sylas onto the set, but a double kill over to that Mordekaiser. Sylas is getting chased, but I don't know if they want to chase entirely here.
They gave up Baron for that fight.
They had to stop because they were going to give too much. The Veigar did not have the damage there. Yeah, they caught out the Seraphine, but they weren't able to do enough.
That's not really who they need to catch out here. I mean, I think that the only, like, threat that's going to pose to them is going to be the Urgot. And the Silas. But even then, like, the Zipper has a 400 gold bounty. Mordekaiser's 5, 2, and 6 with 200 gold bounty. Ooh. And there are 2 Infinity Edges on this team. Jeez, I forgot that Viego built
Crit now.
crit now, yeah.
The Jarvan flag and drag is in, so that if he gets caught at all, he's not able to really escape.
They should say thank you for releasing that skill. That's very kind.
The
Elgin is up
J4
in
skin
2
is
minutes.
a chroma of Darkstar.
Yeah. It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Uh-oh. I was waiting for the Silas to go in.
Kind of holding
I
off,
was.
trying to delay the game while that inhib is down.
Is Radiant Virtue normal on Jarvan?
The last time I played him, it wasn't the best. I want to say lethality is big in solo queue for him. I've seen the Gore Drinker to kind of be tanky. I understand like the heal from you ulting, and if your allies accidentally in the cage, it can heal them as well. I don't know if that's what you want, but we do see a 2-level lead from this Urgot, but another fight, a good Seraphine all across all 4 members of TPO Goats, but Jarvan's already down. The flash forward from Set to make sure that another one goes down. They're trying to chase even further and slow everybody down. The teleport in from the Mord as well as the Urgot. Viego steps in.
Ooh.
Mord ult followed up by another, a returned Mord ult from the Silas. They're fighting in each other's death realms. To extend it out, this is a big fight that was won by TPO Goats, as they're able to just turn and now take that Baron that they've been trying to go for so long.
Yeah, but we have Elder coming up in 40 seconds. So they
They'll
have
be-
to either burn the fast back and then get right down to Elder.
They'll be able to. It's essentially already gone. They have to just kind of turn. They're able to back. There's still 30 seconds before they even get there. These are Baron timers. They're able to back, heal up, and get back down there. They do have to watch this mid lane.
Yeah, because the inhibit down.
Veigar might be caught out here, as he did teleport in ahead of time, trying to get any bit of vision for his team.
It looks like the side of Clown Gaming
Silas
is
and
here.
Seraphine are going to be looking to potentially just take base. They're going for it. It's going to be something that somebody has to back. They're just turning for the base. But the Dragon's gone. This is extremely dangerous for Clown Gaming now. They just gave up Elder Soul to attempt to take the base, and they did not move anywhere near fast enough.
I don't know if all of them needed to, like, all of TPO Goats needed to back, because, like, we need to get lanes pushing here. We don't have any inhib turret down, we don't have any inhib down, and TPO Goats has 1. So all it takes is minions and then
they can barrel down mid lane though. They
can
put 3 or 4 people mid, and then Mordekaiser bot. And I don't know who's gonna be wanting to fight that Mordekaiser right now, as well as
probably no one.
Silas. Not Silas. The Jarvan is getting caught out by the Viego W, kind of forced to run off. We do see the.
Thank you, Dark. He was explaining what desperation means.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely felt like a desperation play.
Well.
That was
Oh,
almost dangerous for that Silas who walked into that Vagar cage. Could have potentially pulled everything out.
oh, what do we have? They got the 289 stacks, and he's able to take down that tier 2 top turret.
And we're seeing just how much they're able to kind of pressure in. They're pulling the team apart. Vagar almost kills the Jarvan with the Q, but meanwhile, mid inhib turret goes down. Jarvan almost dies there in the end, but does get the kill onto the Vagar. Set goes in, trying to do what he can to get more kills over. The Jarvan goes down here, but the Set's going to give up his life as well. The mid inhib is down. The bot inhib is going down right now. They're able to take the top inhib. Base of Clown Gaming is in shambles now.
Can they save this? I don't think so.
This is the risky desperation play that result of that risky desperation play of let's just run it down mid and see if we can take base.
We're about to see because I don't know.
I don't know what this
kind of just backed off. They have all of the inhibs down. What are they doing? I'm gonna yell coconut.
So they're backing because they all had a ton of gold. Sivir had 2,400, Mord had 2,500. It was at 13. And they're looking at it as a way of let's be safe, not overcommit, and give them all these shutdown golds. We're seeing 250 on Mord, 150 on Viego, 700 on this Sivir, who has just become a farming machine at 333. And they're just going to walk down, let the waves push in, fight as a 5-man, and kind of force them to deal with the strength of their pockets, essentially, as well as those double super minions that are now barreling down each lane.
Are you really flaming your team in Twitch chat? Dark abuses his team, by the way. It was confirmed.
Do you see the flash forward from the Viego to make sure that the Seraphine does go down? Now the Silas is caught in the baby cage. They're diving in further. They don't even care anymore. They're like, this isn't your base anymore. These turrets, they don't protect you. You're stuck here with us. The Jarvan's trying to run to his fountain, but is not going to be able to get there as he dies on his own fountain, and game 1 goes to TPO Goats.
Nicely played by TPO there. They really had the right pressure. They had the damage. And they just fought as a team. It was a great play, and I mean, it was well played by both teams, honestly. It just it looks like Clown Gaming gave up a lot.
They did give up a lot in regards to those early Drakes. They just allowed them to stack, and then the TPO Goats, you could see that they had their questionable decisions on the first Baron call, but then it was completely countered by the call at that Elder Drake.
Jim is always cold, by the way. He's always cold.
Yeah, always cold.
See,
and Emily likes it cold.
My office is like an Arctic, and he has to bundle up. So it's not that cold. You're wearing a hoodie. Oh, I go get in bed.
But we are going to go on a short break while we get ready for game 2.
Game number 2.
So we will be right back.
Take a chance, get for the risks in this moment.
Hello, and welcome back, everyone. We are getting ready for game number 2's draft. Game number 1 was did go over to TPO Goats. Well played. So we are looking for an interesting game number 2. I'm going to predict that we're going to see a Mordekaiser ban instead of hey, let's ban out Deathlow.
I'd be more worried about that Viego.
I mean, yes, but the Mordekaiser was impactful in taking those the turrets. So
Mord did have that split push potential. It took 2 people to kill him,
thank you.
and
Yes.
it became an issue when he had Elder where you couldn't really fight him because he was going to deal enough damage to you faster to get that Elder execute. But there's
I
definitely a
agree.
lot that needs to be looked at and considered. The Sivir was extremely strong in that late game. It was just like an altogether. I would like to see occupational hazard for Clown Gaming kind of focus on those Drakes early game. He
Yeah.
did well on that Jarvan. He was having flashes blown. He was getting Silas ahead of the Vagar, but it wasn't working out in their favor where he wasn't able to secure anything off of that besides kills and flashes. So I would like
Yeah.
to see him go for those Drakes early game rather than giving up all those early game Drakes. And when it came to those fights, they were not able to win those to get those follow up Drakes. So they just stacked quick to 4.
Hey, Legion.
And right
Yep,
away, we
there's the
do see the Mord.
Mordekaiser ban.
Zach banned once again. I believe it's something that occupational hazard plays a lot of. We do see the
Yes,
Alawi band as well.
Nivea. They're just
Yeah.
like running through these bans. Like, you know what? They won game number 1. Let's just get into game number 2.
Well, there's only been one band change so far in the first setup, and that's the Mord.
I
Do
mean,
you see the
you don't want a
Cassiopeia?
Cassiopeia and you don't want an Anivia because the Anivia has the her passive with the egg. It's got the wall. She's got a whole bunch of stuff that's just annoying. And Cassiopeia, like you can't get to her if she throws that poison down. But TPO is gonna lock in Sivir for a second time after banning Varus, which I don't blame them because I personally hate leaning up against Varus. It's
So
just poke, poke, poke.
the fact that the Cassiopeia has been a first ban rotation both games shows to me that Clown Gaming wants to play stuff like that Silas, that Jarvan again, because
Yes.
Cassiopeia is a hard counter to stuff like that. That miasma that she has does make it almost impossible for anyone to dash into her. We do see the Seraphine a second time. She did have some pretty good ults, but unfortunately, Clown Gaming was not able to get the damage follow up for that. We'd see the ult come through, the Jarvan ult,
Yeah.
but they weren't able to return that much damage onto it. So the Jarvan would die into that backline, and then we'd see the Viego start taking all the Jarvan abilities and flag and dragging and knocking up people to kind of chase everyone down. And we do see that Jarvan again as well. So they are looking to kind of have that same idea, the potential of Wombo combo in this game too.
I'll be interested to see what they pick. Are they gonna pick the set again for a support? Because he was impactful in making sure that Sibber was able to get on top of the team, making sure that the goal was impactful.
We do see the
Vagar is gonna be
Vagar.
locked in again. I wanted to see that one champ that you've been playing. Let's guess.
This set was very impactful. It kind of kept everybody off that Sivir in the back line. He just kind of waited for them to dive in and then would ult somebody out of the fight.
Brom?
Seeing a Braum, which has a lot of good early game. That Braum stun can lock somebody down quick
I agree.
and make it harder to escape. So that is something that they will have that early game, have that heavy CC as well as that shield for
Somebody
them.
was supposed to play Emilio. Who's released, guys? Lock it in. But
Not
it
everybody likes
looks.
playing the new champs right away.
I do. The Diana did get through mid lane. That was one of the bans that they had pointed at the mid laner last game. So Diana was able to get through. The Viego was banned. They were like, "Yeah, I had enough of that shit. I don't want to play it again."
Yeah, no, I don't think that a Viego that was able to, I want to say, the last time I checked, he was 7-1 and 7. He likely ended
I
the game
think
before
I want
then.
to say that's how he ended, but
But we see the Malphite getting banned, so they're looking to create some pressure onto that top lane champ pool and actually essentially stop Wombo combos because the Jarvan's going to go in. That Diana's going to follow up into that Jarvan pit. The Seraphine ult is going to try to land over that Jarvan pit. So there's a lot of Wombo combo that's coming out of Clown Gaming. We're
and
seeing the
they followed up with such
Sejuani,
one,
which can
such
easily
one
add
now.
some deterrence, as well as the Ornn ban to prevent any more Wombo. I think they're just trying
I
to be
mean,
like, no, we're not going to
an
allow you to
Ornn
just
ban
stack everything.
is just safe all around because he is a very strong top laner. So, but it's actually going to be locked in.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
run that down.
But does Sparky Human play Yasuo?
No one should play Yasuo.
All that I'm seeing is a whole lot of knockups.
Yeah.
And that's one of those like heavy duty
If it's
team
a Yasuo
comps.
bot lane, I will cry.
He's gonna struggle because of the range matchup, but the Seraphine will be able to kind of poke
I mean,
back
we
in
don't
return.
see it hovered yet, but
No, that would be something that I would honestly not show until the end. We do see the Alistair, so it looks like it's going to be a Seraphine APC.
I mean, all right, I can dig it.
I'm kind of torn
I just
because
don't.
they
I
have
don't know
very
how that
limited
works
AD.
out. Yes,
Unless they're
but
doing
Diana. Yeah, no, Diana can't build it either. So, I mean, she builds the Nashers, but that's about it. And then we see the Mundo locked in. It's like insta locked in on the side of TPO boat. So, Mundo is probably a very safe top laner as he's got the shielding, he's got the heal of his ult. So, I don't know. I mean, I like both teams' drafts so far, but I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Unless they're putting Ali in a solo lane, which will kind of.
I don't like that at all.
It has happened though.
And we do see the Poppy coming in for jungle. Definitely somebody that can easily be like, nope, with that ult.
Yeah, or like just locking them into Uno. That's an Olaf. Okay.
That's going to be something that they're going to have to go with. Because they
Yeah.
are lacking heavily in that AD damage.
Yeah.
The Jarvan's going to have some, but if they build the same path as Jarvan did last time, he's not going to be putting out that heavy AD damage.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
While the Olaf is going to be playing a lot of pressure into that top lane, can kind of run him down. He doesn't really have any CC to stop the Mundo passive, so he's not going to be able to kind of heal himself up off of that.
Something memorable.
Yes.
I know, I did like that Poppy pick. I think that like just the ability to like, you put them up against the wall, you stun them. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I
But
personally think that the TPO goats won the draft just because of the, I won't say it, but it kind of seems like insanity regarding the Clown Gaming draft. This seems like something that I would be
so
willing to do,
rude.
and
I mean,
listen, if it's something that I'm willing to do, it's out there.
I mean,
This
like,
is the only
there's
range
no
that
Cho'Gath AD here, so like
Listen, not everything's about Cho'Gath 80. There are some times that you get to relax and enjoy other things, like a Vayne
Yeah.
with Dark
What's your
Seal.
win rate, Sugar?
Um,
87?
78? I don't know. I want to say
Yeah,
I've lost
that's
like
that.
1 or 2 games,
Sit down.
but there's not really any range on Clown Gaming side. They have the Seraphine for
Yeah.
range, but that Sever and Vega are gonna kind of be like, okay, you just have to full commit onto us, and if they don't full commit, they're gonna struggle.
I mean, I know. I think that they have a solid team. I would like to see a little switch up in the mid lane. I like to see like different champs played, but I get that that is one of Deathflow's stronger champs. I just know he's been working on one. I was really hoping he was gonna pull it out tonight, but shall remain as Vigard. So, everyone get their votes in, spend your channel points,
Seeing
and
not a lot of
let's.
votes tonight, but I want to
It's
say a
it's
lot
a
of these people
Wednesday.
that it's Wednesday night and then people are tuning in for their first time. Some of the people that have been here before are players that don't always watch because they're playing. So not everybody's going to
Oh
have
yeah,
that many
and
points. And if they
welcome
bet the
to
same
Clown
side as
Gaming,
you, then they definitely
bro.
don't have a lot of points.
You know what? That was rude. You should take it back.
Listen, you're the one that cast your curses with votes, so
Oh my god, I literally cast a curse like everything.
I think
That's why I typically don't vote. And then I say, well, I say I don't. And then
I think last game
that
was the first
happens.
time that you voted and got it right.
You know. But a big thank you to Clown Gaming Art for tuning in tonight and dealing with our
For joining.
shenanigans. Jim bites, so just be careful.
I do not bite. I cannot
I
confirm that there's no one in our Discord that bites. There are quite a few
yeah,
people in
no,
there, so I
there are.
I cannot guarantee your safety.
I mean, one of
We
them
do
is
have
Legion,
community
another one is Kuba.
rules to kind of prevent that stuff, but
I hate it here. I'm kind of scared of this Olaf pick. I feel like Olaf can be like a complete menace to like any team if played correctly.
yes and no.
No, T-Bar's left.
If he is able to get access to that back line with ease, then yeah. If he's like walking towards it at the beginning of the fight and the Poppy ult comes out and he forgets to ult, it's gonna be a hard time for him watching his team engage as he's getting yeeted about 5 screens away.
You're gonna, you know what? It's just it's a quicker back. You know, she ults you back to like your fountain. You don't have to go many places. So.
And that's another thing to worry about is if he goes in with Jarvan, Diana, even if he doesn't get yeeted, they could get yeeted if they're next to him, and that's one person less, and that's going to have his backup. The Alistair's going to be there, but it's going to be one of those things of the Poppy's going to be a lot of dissuadance. The Braum can create a lot of pressure. Yeah, the Olaf can charge in, but how much can the rest of your team follow?
Or how much can Alistair heal you? You got a lot of healing on the side of Clown Gaming.
They
You have the
do.
Seraphine heal. You've got the Alistair heal. Hi, I'm here to support clowns. I mean, clowns need support too. All right, we're gonna go on a brief spectator delay to get ready for game number 2. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to TPO Esports. This is game number 2 for TPO Gold versus Clown Gaming, and we do have some Clown supporters here. It looks like just a normal, like the same start that they had last time. No shenanigans, no invades. I want to see a Baron dance off. I want everyone to go to Baron Pit and just dance. And none of you are listening. That's very upsetting.
Definitely need that AP Alistair.
Wait, are they running the right skin?
No, they're not running Mukau.
Oh no.
They're running, I want to say that's Infernal?
No, I want a Mukau.
But there's Santa
Yeah,
Claus. There's a Santa Claus in this game. Ghost just became my favorite player.
No, Ghost. We were. I liked you.
And there's Blacksmith
We
Poppy.
both just flashed at the same time, so you're wrong. Oh, the alt chat. Taxi. Are names that I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, I mean, they're interesting people, so. Huh. Let's see how.
Is that the new... What skin is
Yes. For
that? Diana.
Diana? Yes,
Is
it's
that
a
the
new
fairy
one.
one?
I believe so. I'd support for Galaxy. Oh, thank you. That's nice, Jarvan. Apparently, Jarvan wants to support for the jungler.
Nice.
Yeah, I do want to say that is. Oh, an early engage on Diana does get her some turret shots and some poke from the Vanguard here. I'm still interested for this bot lane. The AP carry Seraphine. I don't know about that.
AP carries in bot lane are just kind of showing up fairly strong right now in the meta. Definitely having high win rates in solo queue.
This Olaf is bullying the Mundo.
Yep, he should.
Kind of depriving him of some of his CS. It's currently 2-11. Oof.
He should be able to kind of pressure him off in that early game.
Yeah.
You are seeing a bit of a change up in that mid lane where the Veigar is now kind of poking out the Diana due to the range difference. She's had to use both her potions versus just the one.
I mean, the Mundo is doing damage to the Olaf, and the one thing Mundo doesn't have to worry about is mana, so that's like probably the only upside to this right now.
He does have to worry about health though, because to him health
he
is
does.
mana.
An early roam down from Olaf to try and like catch Poppy out in that jungle, but I guess we're just gonna get some deep vision.
Get some deep vision, keep moving on. Do you see the Braum actually being something that's extremely helpful versus this Seraphine, as he does block that route?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Seraphine will be an issue if Braum roams and leaves Sivir alone. It could be a potential issue, I think. It looks like the Jarvan is looking to come in here and get some stuff.
They just take the flash though, and just walk away.
Yep, flash and baby cage. I believe poke is going to be the next meta for. You know what? You're probably right. Like the meta changes so much. It was tanks, and now I don't know what it is now, but you're seeing a lot more poke down in bot lane, which is irritating for us AD carries.
You know what I want? I want to be able to play Cassiopeia in the bot lane again. That's what I want.
No, Jim. No.
Yeah.
Anything that you want should not happen.
So rude.
So, What? Seraphine took teleport, which I
Yes.
can see like not needing heal. Cassiopeia is pretty strong, can confirm. Don't support his bad life choices.
It's not a bad life choice when the enemy
Oh
team's like,
please.
why does this hurt?
Why can't I get close?
Why did Snaky Bitey Lady hurt? This is a big engage. They're gonna catch out the Vagar here. The baby cage does dissuade him, but the dash forward followed up by the Q on the Diana is able to get that first blood.
And there's trade. No trade.
There's gonna be no trade. They are gonna look for this Drake, it looks like.
Vagar has no teleport, so he is
Oh,
waddling back to lane.
he just teleported into lane.
Yep.
Poppy even back there, so there's no priority, but they didn't even choose to take that Drake. I think they were more worried where Poppy was than considering taking that early Drake. That could have been a really good play overall, getting that first blood in mid lane, denying some CS and experience on that Vagar, and then getting that first Drake, because they had 4 people there just to the 2 from the TPO goats.
That's an odd way to come in.
He's trying to go for a lane gank here.
Yeah.
See what they can do, but they're just pressuring off.
So both top laners have their ults. Bot lane is not quite to 6 yet. Both mid laners have their ults. Cactus, you're kind of just playing it out for a little bit there. I'm sure he's got a plan.
They're waiting for the engage. He goes in with the W trying to get him out, but the Seraphine ult does dissuade them from going any further.
Yeah, that was not the game that you wanted, but it does kind of give you a little bit of prio for Dragon. Poppy can solo Dragon, can't they? I mean, I believe I can solo Dragon, like, no matter what.
You would think that you can solo Dragon at level 2 as a unit.
It looks like TPO Gold is going for the Dragon, while Jarvan decides to counter Jungle Invade. Yeah, Jungle Invade, that one.
Definitely not the best choice. Jarvan tends to want to be that early game playmaker, but he just kind of took a camp and then went to Herald. They're gonna have.
I mean, Herald's not a bad trade, especially if this Olaf keeps bullying the Mundo like he has been. It can be, something that is useful, but the ult is blown on Mundo.
Mundo might be able to take him down.
Holy crap!
Olaf took a turret shot, but Mundo backs off because the Herald did go down there. He didn't want to give over a kill.
I am going to say that Jarvan's going to drop this Herald mid to try and give Diana roaming potential, but really,
he got 6. He might look for... Nope, he's just going to back here.
I don't think that you can invade with your top laner that low.
I wasn't thinking about an invade. I was thinking about just applying the pressure and dropping that Herald then and there.
Yeah, no, let's see, what's Mundo sitting at right now? He's got about 2,000 gold, so he needs to bag. Olaf's got 2,500.
He's got most of a Thorn Mill set up for that Mundo, and he did teleport back to make sure that he wasn't losing any experience. He's down in CS, he's playing that weak side, but... Do you see the Jarvan go in? The Vagar flash to get out of the Jarvan was big there.
Yes.
The flash forward from the Diana, but she wasn't able to get close enough to pull the ult.
68 stacks on Vagar at the 10-minute mark. He is a little bit behind in CS. It's not, behind right now is not that bad. It's not like you can't catch up fairly quickly. Um, I'm surprised that the bot lane was so close in CS. I guess Seraphine is strong. I used to play as AP carry, but it looks like Caxi is coming up for a gank. Olaf does have ult. Mundo has ult, but Poppy is followed by
Poppy E to
Jarvan.
make sure that the Jarvan flag drag wasn't able to get out.
Yeah. Olaf's kind of sitting there at low health, no ult.
No, they just traded those ults up in top lane there to kind of create pressure amongst each other, but not really get much out of it.
Alistair spotted on the ward trying to come in and collapse on the Sivir. It looked like they were looking for to come in through the trag bush, but he was spotted out. Oh, my game's glitching. Okay. Did you have a lag? I did not.
No.
Or I did. Okay.
What time are you at? I'm at 11:30.
Yep. Same thing. It's just my screen shook, so.
Weird.
So the Herald has yet to be dropped. I'm hoping he drops it before he runs out of time.
And we do see the Braum, Vhagar, and Poppy kind of moved for that ward, so they are kind of progressing and trying to make it so that they can't do much. Sivir's doing her best dance ahead, but the ult from the Diana as well as the Jarvan just locks down and shuts down the Vhagar once again.
Ooh.
Poppy's forced to respond here to the two-man push.
The Herald is gonna go down though.
Herald is gonna go down, gonna get some turret plates there.
Yeah. I think the Vhagar's getting bullied a bit. Sivir was able to pick up full Kraken. This Diana's just throwing Qs out. She does so much damage. I wonder if she's gonna go Rocket Belt or Jack Show. Mundo, you're in a little bit of a tough spot right there. Score is 1-2. Oh, TPO took game 1.
This is game 2.
This is game 2.
Caxi has to be careful here. He's sitting there playing aggressive towards his bot lane, and he isn't aware that the Jarvan and the Seraphine are there. Vhagar's now caught out once again in a rough spot here. As 3 people collapse onto him, Braum throws out the ult. Poppy's trying to get onto the Jarvan, but isn't able to. Sivir's exhausted, not able to throw out the damage just yet. The Poppy tries to dissuade the Diana ult, but the Diana ult still lands onto more. The Diana's just chasing through, as we're able to see just how much that Diana can do, as she's 5-0-1 with that Nashor's Tooth already, and that's going to be second Drake over to Clown Gaming, which is already more Drakes than they had last game.
It's not second Drake to Clown Gaming, it's first.
It's the second Drake of the game.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, what? And I missed.
It's their second Drake of the game.
No wonder that they banned Diana first game. She's seeming to be a potential problem here, because the first tier 1 turret does fall over to Clown Gaming. Vhagar's just struggling against this Diana. I mean, rightfully so. So Herald is spawning. I don't know if I think TPO Goat's gonna want to fight with us, but up here in top lane where the directed camera tends to want to be the most, because these 2 people are just fighting today. They woke up and chose violence today.
Would honestly surprise me if Vhagar does not go crown here. Just with the amount of instant CC and damage that comes out from that Diana, from the Jarvan. It's one of those things that Crown can potentially help out a lot. Yeah, they do
Mhm.
have the scaling comp themselves in the Vagar and Sivir.
I
But you
think that
have to play careful.
Poppy needs to be careful here because they are all in her top side jungle. And Diana's pushing mid. The Vagar's gonna try and dissuade that, but it hasn't gone well for him yet this game.
Sivir walks
Oh
in
no.
onto the Jarvan
No,
and
no.
Alistair and just gets locked up and shut
Oh,
down.
no.
I don't know if they were
That
trying to use the
is
blast
not
cone
good.
there to line up with their team, but that's going to
Ooh.
make sure that Herald does go over there.
Vagar did flash to avoid the Diana ult. So the Diana ult was blown with no, I think, to take from it. But she is extremely fed, so the Vagar may want to be extremely careful. Here, Muno has not been able to touch that top turret. Olaf has pretty much denied him of like any existence, or especially during the laning phase. The Seraphine Qs are starting to hurt with that Leandri's, so. And he's ahead in CS, holy crap. We're seeing a level lead here on top lane. I really think that this Mundo just needs to get the turret. Olaf's ult is up, and the minute that he turns it on, it kind of did. Yeah, this is. Oh, the Hex attack gates are open.
Yep.
I always forget those things. Yeah, they are lacking damage. You are correct. I feel like this is like a totally different team from game one on both sides.
No, they heavy committed into the scaling factor for this game, so it's kind of like, how little can I give up while remaining in the game to the point where I'll be able to scale? And seeing things like a 5-0 and 1 Jarvan's not going to be helpful.
Yeah, but a 5-0 and 1 Diana is not
The
something
flash
that's really
forward, and we're just seeing the amount of CC coming through from this Clown Gaming team as they're able to just quick CC Vagar to death. We see the Poppy going on the Olaf and forced to blow the ult, but he's not able to follow suit. The Mundo teleporting into bot side. Gonna get himself rooted up and knocked up. Not the best teleport play as he's now caught out.
No.
Meanwhile, Poppy and Sivir are chasing Olaf down as the Herald is just cracking into their base. They're gonna be able to take an in-hit before the 20-minute mark. The Vagar baby cage goes down, but the ult wasn't onto the right person. But Seraphine does go down. The Jarvan is gonna get shut down as well. Not Jarvan, Diana. That was a big shutdown.
That was a massive shutdown. Oh, and Seraphine disconnected. That's unfortunate. That was a massive shutdown for Sivir. That definitely went on the right person.
I will say this Dragon Soul, Clown Gaming has to get it for the sole fact that they don't want Sivir to.
Yes, very true.
This is Hextech Soul, it's attack speed. They don't want that Sivir to be thrown out boomerangs left, right, and center to the point where they're not going to have any fun in the game, rest of the game, because of just how fast she's dealing damage.
Who has fun in Legoland Adventures?
Oh, people who win.
Alright, maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
I gotta stop playing with you.
No, you gotta stop feeding.
I feed you. Baron is spawning in 5 seconds. I have to say that Clown Gaming's positioning this game is very good. They kind of have the right mindset on who they're going after. because they're not far behind. They're actually ahead. They have a big gold lead. This Diana's terrifying. Jesus.
She's dashing in. She's levels ahead. You
Yeah.
see the Jarvan kind of trying to hide out and find and engage, but gonna be forced to flag and drag away.
Let's see. Where's Big R at? He's at 160 stacks in 20 minutes. That is not exactly where he wants to be. I believe he wants a lot higher than that. But he's kind of been bullied this game, for being honest. So we're seeing that the Baron being started by Clown Gaming, they are not messing around this game.
The goats are aware of it. They're peeling off, trying to look for the fight. They get the Seraphine ult onto one because the Braum wall, the Poppy ult to get them out, but the Diana's on the back line. She hid out around the corner, was able to get out there. The damage is gone from TPO goats. The Poppy flashes over the wall, trying to get out.
But into an Olaf.
She's not able to do enough damage for that Olaf, as she doesn't even have her mythic yet. It's just the Mundo alive, and the base is falling apart as a Nexus turret's about to drop due to the super minions from that before 20-minute Herald.
And I don't think that Mundo has the wave clear to get all of them. So.
Mundo and Braum definitely do not. If I was that Olaf, I would have stayed top and taken that turret.
Yeah.
I feel like
It
Clown
would've been-
Gaming.
Go ahead.
I feel like Clown Gaming just have the enough gold in their pockets to be greedy and be able to get away with it.
Yeah. The Jarvan did go Gore Drinker into Guardian this game versus the first game where he went Radiant Virtue. So
much
that's
more for
kind
him.
of it's like it's being more effective pretty much. The Mundo does pick up the heart steals. He's only got 30 stacks, so it's kind of a late heart steal pickup, but everyone has their mythics. And the next Drake is in 2 minutes. It looks like there is going to be a fight as I thought Braum was gonna face check that Alistar wasn't gonna end well. Oh no.
The goats need to have somebody in that base.
Yeah.
They are continuing to ignore this bot lane.
Let Veigar go back and get those stacks that he so desperately needs.
I think that at this point you just kind of give up that turret that they're trying to protect.
Yep.
And
you can't protect that. Because Seraphine, everyone's ult is up right now.
Sivir should have been the one to get back with the amount of wave clear that she's supposed to have.
Yeah.
They gave up a Nexus turret for nothing because the minions are just able to push in. The inhib's going to be up shortly, but they're about 10,000 gold down.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. Clown Gaming has control right now, so it's gonna have to be a fight where they shut down the Diana, the Jarvan, and the Olaf. And with Olaf's ult up, I don't know if you're shutting him down right now. And Veigar opted to go for the Everfrost instead of the Crown. I probably would have gone for Crown due to how much damage you're taking from the Diana. But yeah, TPO is not taking half a turret. This is not looking very good for them. And the Braum, you are in the wrong position. Mundo, you're also in the wrong position here.
I think Mundo's just trying to do his best to defend that turret.
They're doing Mundo things. But they have Baron buff, which is not helping them very much. And Olaf with an ult up, so.
And the Olaf's just going to be able to walk away.
Jarvan's going to take this dragon, and no one has any idea because they can't really leave base.
No, they gave up way too much.
And they need someone to start, pushing the side lane, but they really can't because all of the team is in their base, so. Oh boy. Dragon, this puts both teams even in Dragons 2-2, but a 10,000 gold lead and 10 kills ahead. This Diana has been super impactful in this game, and it's definitely needs to be banned. I don't really know what. I feel like the girls are spending more time in the jungle than they are in the lanes.
They're just trying to get any sort of ability to see their own jungle as much as possible, because we've seen Clown Gaming just kind of use that vision to kind of exhaust the way in for the goats. Caxi is essentially being zoned out of his own jungle by the amount of people from Clown Gaming that's in there. Even now you're seeing he's having to walk out past members of Clown Gaming.
This is like, I feel like it's a completely different Jarvan than last game.
I don't know if it's a different Jarvan, it's just a more standardized build.
Yeah.
So he's being there for utility rather than something flashy. I think he's understanding that the Gore Drinker proc is better than that
The Radiant Virtue.
Radiant Virtue proc off the ult.
So Baron buff is off of Clown Gaming. It does spawn again in 40 seconds, so the team fight here will depend on who's getting this and potentially who's going to either take game or get back into it. Nice. Ooh,
Veigar ult was blown there though. In exchange for the Seraphine ult, it did not take down the Alistar, so that is something that they can kind of work with for Clown Gaming. Veigar's caught out against the Diana. Diana's kind of getting chunked down. That might have been a big play for that W.
Ooh,
as she might end up getting shut down, but the flash away is able to get her close enough to the Seraphine to heal her up. But Olaf is just running through this Mundo now. But Mundo's able to kind of heal back up and chase him off. But Olaf was able to get that bot in hit once again, which was huge when it came to how control of the map. But we're seeing a double teleport to Baron now. This is a bit of a desperation play, as Jarvan is there and is able to tell that they're trying to take this Baron. He's going to be able to flag and drag in. They have to get him out. The Baron goes down, 2 TPO goats, but now they have to fight their way out. Jarvan shutdown goes down, as well as the Guardian Angel. Olaf is pushing in mid lane, trying to take a second inhib turret. They have to rush out to make sure that the second inhib doesn't go down itself.
That was well played by the goats to kind of baby cage the Jarvan, take him down. And they, I don't know if you've noticed, but Caxi was able to shut down the Diana.
Yes, I did see that. The only shutdown gold remaining on a player for Clown Gaming is that Olaf at 650 gold plus the bounty gold that's going to be coming down.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of what we expected to happen on Olaf. I think that he's just going to run at you menacingly and then not care.
I think the biggest issue for them right now is how few stacks are on that window for that Heartsteel.
I mean, you also have Veigar that's sitting at 229.
But the front line that they wanted from Jarvan
it's not there.
Mundo just isn't there. The they do go in. The big ult onto the Veigar, but the Zonias are going out. Sivir's in the backline untouched, but I don't think she's going to be able to throw out enough damage. She's starting to tear through. Mundo is healing as much as he can. The triple kill for the Sivir. She's trying to chase down, but I don't think she's going to be able to get it. The smite comes through as the Mundo finally falls. Sivir was able to stand tall, but not tall enough, as she's going to have to go back and make sure that those super minions do not hit that second Nexus turret. And this is going to be the Drake that puts Cloud Gaming at soul point.
Oof. And I mean, TPO Ghost was able to catch up in gold with those shutdowns, but they just did give over on the dragon. Their Nexus, or their inhib is down. Their, the turret is down. You gotta protect the base. You've got supers pushing and you guys are headed mid. I mean, I get that,
I think they're letting the Mundo take that, but I don't know if that's the best bet. At this point, I think they just need to shovel as much gold as they can into the Sivir.
I was gonna say, Sivir's gonna be the one that you want the gold funneled into.
She's working on a Lord Dominic's, I'm guessing, right now.
Yeah.
And there it is. That's going to help out a lot. That could have easily meant another 2 kills in that fight.
I mean, she is 4-3-2, but I don't know if she's gonna have the damage to beat the Zoloft. I mean, she did shut him down once, but
The Lord
Diana
Dominic's
just-
going to help a lot with that.
yeah.
As well as the Jarvan, the Diana, the Alistair are all going to get affected by that Lord Dominic's. And if
Yeah.
they full commit to this Veigar with that stopwatch, they're going to have issues trying to deal with that Sivir that they ignored for that fight and was able to just get a triple kill. We see the Diana looking for an engage here. The Alistair starts it up. The Seraphine ult lands across 3 and makes sure that the Sivir goes down. Mundo's bot lane trying to take a turret finally, but
I mean,
it's not going to
they
be worth
just
it when
lost
the
their
base
damage.
goes.
Yeah, they just lost their damage, and
They
we'll
just
go
lost the
back
game.
and- They did just lose the game. It's, I mean, it is unfortunate, but this does, I think I really bad. Yeah, I want to say that, I mean, Cloud Gaming can end here, but opted to go forward.
I don't know if they could end because they didn't have the minion waves, but all those minion waves are now double super minions.
Yeah.
Which it's going to
So
result.
3 inhibs down.
It's going to result
So
in. Go ahead.
we need to get better at this. TPO goats cannot leave base. And plus they're missing a word that is going to allow either Diana or Seraphine to teleport right into that base. And they're gonna fight for Baron here.
They're trying to get on the
Seraphine
Sivir. The
has
Sivir gets
Holy crap.
thrown over the wall into the wrong hands. Jarvan's just able to chase and shut down. This is gonna be game.
Yeah.
The Veigar is not scaled enough to deal the damage that's needed. We see that they're just able to chase down and get him down. It's currently a 2v4 with those super minions just taking the base. At this point, they might as well just fight because it's gonna be GG no matter what.
Yeah, those to be like minion diff here. So game number 2 does go over to Cloud Gaming. They played very well second game. It was a comeback that Cloud Gaming needed to stay in. So now this takes us to game number 3. And Jim's camera is blurry.
I hate this camera. Told me to
Jim, we
download.
can't hear you either. There we go.
Oh, okay. No? Okay, we're good.
The blurred character. Yes. Yes, well, it does. Or no, that's not Will, that's Justin.
Yes, that's Justin.
They're both the same.
No, not the same.
Nope. Wow. Justin, don't start. I will make you come in and cast.
I'm trying to see if we can trying to fix this while we're waiting for game 3.
I have no cat. I'm sad. Tibbers abandoned post. He left me all alone.
I was able to fix that, so that'll
Will,
probably work better.
Sorry, Will. There we go. We like Jim silent.
What?
We like when you're quiet. You're fine now.
Okay.
You were just really quiet, and I enjoyed the few moments of silence.
That was probably because I was focusing on fixing the camera quickly. Does look like the teams are going on a short break to go to the
I'm not
bathroom
even in the
potentially.
lobby.
No, I'm not either. Normally they're a bit faster, but we are going to go on a short break as we do load in, get ready for the draft for game 3. So stay with us and we will be right back.
A frozen night, but everyone's moving out. We all need time, but there's no way to slow it down. We're all dreamers, dreaming out. We share these scars, but they won't keep us out of sight. We're all dreamers, dreaming of a good life, but there's nothing that nice on the cards for us. It's alright though, 'cause we can have a good time, and we don't worry if it's dangerous. So take this ride and hold on tight. We're gonna live forever now, and side by side, we don't need light. We're gonna live forever now. You feel that touch and all the love, it makes us live forever now. We don't look up, we rise above. We're gonna live forever now.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Jim and I are not doing this tonight.
Well, you
We are
delayed
so
there.
Oh, well, my bad.
I said we are live, and you were just like chilling.
Hey, but we're back for game number 3 here at TPO Esports. We've, TPO Girls versus Clown Gaming. They're playing in the Blue Otter League tournament series. Both teams have had a great game each piece. I hope you never see that Diana again. She's terrifying, and that Olaf was just a pain.
I think
The
that
Ghost did
Diana.
not have as strong of a game as they did the first time, but
Definitely not that Diana
okay.
was able to kind of just pull away early and just kept going.
I'm
Apparently,
telling you,
Clown Gaming
death.
are down to Clown right
Of course they are. I love reading client chat. Unfortunately, we can't share it with Twitch because I'm pretty sure we'd get in trouble, but
now. It's
I
safer
don't
to
like
not
you,
share
don't
with
I?
Twitch.
Yeah, there's not not safe for workplace on Twitch. So what do you see being banned?
Diana and Mordekaiser.
Zach.
Probably Zach again. It's been banned for all 3 games.
Honestly, I think that
I
they should
would
ban
honestly
Jarvan.
ban Jarvan for the 3rd. If they screw the
Yeah.
Varus, ban Jarvan. Get him
No,
off that.
they don't want to give up the Bears ban. You let that through, and like that's just irritating as shit.
Yeah, but he's somebody that currently is doing a lot of poke. And
Cassiopeia and Zach are banned. There's the Anivia ban.
they're just looking to go back to that heavy duty mid lane ban, I'm guessing.
Yeah, what do they have against Deathloners? They let the poor man have his champions. There's a Moana ban.
Or they're trying to take the Mordekaiser this time.
I didn't get to see what
They're
their champ
banning
pool
the
looks like.
Mord.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Please. Nope.
They're giving up the Diana.
You know what? Yeah, I forgot about that one. You know what? Oh. You know what? Honestly, would be a really good pick into Diana.
What?
Something like, Vex or something not bigger. Oh, they did ban Cassiopeia Dance.
Yeah,
Alright.
the cast would definitely be great, but not.
Oh, Seraphine for the third game in a row.
I would say if anybody plays Diana, if Caxi plays Diana, Dathlow's been practicing Diana, I would take it at this point. Don't give it to them because
Yeah.
it's likely going to be picked in this second rotation for them.
Okay.
And that was heavily pivotal in that game too. Diana was just able to kind of run away with the game, along with the Jarvan and that Olaf. They're just able to push through. I definitely don't want to see the three scaling lanes that they had last time, where they didn't have a
Yeah, they
single
had
lane that won. They're going
the
Sivir
Sivir Braum
Braum
again.
again, which was fine because the Braum was able to block some of those Seraphine ults. Didn't get all of them, but was able to
No,
block
but
a
he
good
got a
chunk.
good portion of them though.
Yeah,
Why?
I still worry that this Diana's going to come in to these next two picks and it's just going to be the same issue in mid lane, and you're going to be sitting there going like, okay, who do I play mid?
Yeah, who do you? Oh, yep. There's Diana.
And I
I mean, it
don't
was a risk that they had to take to ban what they were most afraid of in the beginning,
normally that
and
stuff
we're gonna
changes
see
up
the
throughout
Alistair.
there because we saw the Mord wasn't banned game 1, it's been banned game 2 and 3. We're seeing a lot of dive again, almost the same entire comp, so it's the same comp so far, for Clown Gaming. They
Yeah.
might just run it back and go like, okay, you guys couldn't handle this, so we might as well just get rid of decide to just run at you once again.
What is the last pick here? A Trundle.
Trundle.
That's actually not a bad lock in. That can help with the issue that they had with the Diana, I believe.
Definitely something
I mean,
that
no one likes a Trundle pillar. Oof.
Trundle Pillar could essentially stop and engage from coming through or catch somebody out if they are chasing. So that could potentially be something that kind of makes a play. They got rid of the Malphite there.
Yeah.
The
Well, a
Yorick
Yorick
ban.
ban. Interesting.
So they're worried about them going away from the Mundo and just getting something that's going to be able to push those lanes in
They
the
could have
side
taken
lane.
a page out of Juggernaut's book and just build
That's an
Hullbreaker and
Ornn.
Split Push.
So no change in bans from game 2 to 3 on TPO Goat side.
There's Victor. That leaves the Veigar open, but does Veigar really want to go into Diana for another game?
No.
We see that it was not overly great.
Definitely want something here to kind of dissuade. If you want to go
Swear to
with a
God, they lock in Veigar. I'm going to cry.
control mage, I don't think Veigar was the best choice. Yeah, the baby
No.
cage is wide, but I think there's a lot
You
more
know
that
who
you
they
can
did
do.
leave open?
Morgana.
They left Morgana.
I feel like that's a bait pick because you're kind of sitting
Oh,
there.
yes. Thank you. No, like I think that's great because you've got the root, the pool, the black shield, and then if she gets in the middle, just ults.
So
I think that was a good pick, honestly.
it's hit and miss. If she's able to land those Qs and stop engages from
Oh
coming
no.
through, that'll be great.
Oh
We do
no.
see the Yasuo here, so that
What?
makes me
Why?
wonder if it's gonna be a Diana
Diana
jungle
jungle.
unless it's going Yasuo top.
I don't like that Yasuo pick, but because that wind wall blocks any Morgana cues.
That's why I was concerned about it being a bait because they can essentially
Oof.
just do the Morgana Q, and that's going to be a Mundo top. So they are taking the Mundo themselves to have a big tanky front line. They still have a lot of wombo combo with the Diana, the Alistair, the Seraphine, the
Oh,
Yasuo alt. The Viego was left up here. It could be something that Caxi takes again into his hands. Was very strong in
yes.
game one. So they did flex the Trundle in that early lane, early pick phase to that top lane pick.
Occupation example. I don't know. Um, I know that Caxi's Viego is strong, but I mean that does mean that Trundle's top lane. I don't know. This draft confuses me. What are you thinking there, Jim?
Um, it's definitely going to be something skill based, and the skill is going to have to come off on essentially negating those engages and what they can do. That Trundle's going to be fairly good into that Mundo. He's going to start shredding those tank stats and just kind of beating him down.
Yes.
While the being able to potentially split push here, not a lot of games are won through split push currently. It's more of a team fight style of meta right now. And
Yeah, but
with that, there is that heavy wombo combo again that we saw in game two.
So who wins game 3?
That is the big question.
I mean, I know that Dasslow's Morgana is insanely strong. The Viego is insanely strong. The Sivir's done well the last game. So I don't know. I'm just like I would worry about the Yasuo, the Ali knockup, the Diana knockup.
Um, there's a lot to kind of worry about regarding the amount of knockups that are available, the amount of CC
Yeah.
that's available for this clown gaming, where if anybody gets caught out, if the black shield doesn't go on, yes, technically both carries, the mid lane and the bot lane, are going to have spell shields to kind of try to negate certain effects. But if it doesn't go through the right way, or they don't get it off in time, that's a lot of damage coming down. And that's going to be quick, fast, in a hurry, because the Diana is going to follow up on an Alistair. The Yasuo is going to follow up. The Seraphine's going to follow up. By the time that you're done
Yeah.
getting CC'd, you're going to be at low health, if not dead.
Yeah. I mean, Sivir does have the shield, but that doesn't, I mean, that's going to do very little if you get caught out, really. So I'm a little worried for the side of TPO goats, but also I think that they know what they're doing when they're drafting, so we're just gonna have to let the team play it out and see who's able to get the damage out first. I hate it here.
What? The fact that the team's kind of messed around and
Yes.
switched stuff up.
At least like clown gaming is like having fun. I mean, like if you're not having fun, then like you're doing something wrong.
Wonder what would happen if they were just messing around too much and it just
I
went down to
forgot to
0
switch.
and they forgot to switch.
I mean,
Would
an
the
Alistair
Alistair,
jungle could work.
would the Seraphine just not farm? And it'd be farming Diana in the bot lane?
Why not? It could work. We should try it after this stream. Alright, we are going to go on a short spectator delay to get ready for game number 3, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to game number 3 here at TPO Esports. TPO Goats versus Clown Gaming out of the Blue Otter League Tournament Series. So I am hoping for a massive comeback for TPO Goats so they can round out this series with a win.
30 seconds
It-
until minions spawn.
I wish that the team would change up the champions, but there is some dance off that makes me happy. I want a full bear pit dance off. Everyone now go.
Listen, that's something you got to talk to the teams beforehand.
I know. Coconut will never let me do it. talking about TFTs.
What?
Taxi just said TFT good. Because they had the Zac emote that was from one of the TFT things. Both junglers again starting bot side. We'll see if this has any impact on the top-lane matchup as Mundo is seen going into the jungle. That's not your jungle, Mundo. Go home, you're drunk.
No, he was just trying to get deep vision on so they can track that Viego early on. Did get that late ward that will end up seeing Viego walk over. But we're seeing the Yasuo able to apply pressure early on, just with the amount of autos that he's able to put out.
I mean, he's Yasuo.
Yep.
I hate that champion with a passion. But he does run off of mana, right? No?
No, he does not run
nice.
off of mana.
I was gonna say, he doesn't, because I kept seeing go up and down. But that was a nice route from the Morgana, followed up by the pool. Which I don't know what that's called. But I think this Mundo might have some issues up against a Trundle.
Trundle likes big tanks. When you give Trundle a big tank, he takes his
gives
wacky
you the big
stick.
pillar.
But a slow start to the game so far. Nobody's really
Yeah.
applying pressure or anything like
This
that. Right as we
Alistar
say
is-
that, Alistar goes in. Does get a good chunk of damage onto that Sivir. She did start Longsword and she is running cookies, so she's able to kind of heal up off of those. Seeing the Alistar getting chunked down, that's the Bromstun that kind of stops everything in their track. They're trying to go in on it, but they're targeting the Alistar, who's able to just tank up, and now First Blood goes over to the Seraphine, as I don't know if Alistar was the target there. Mundo, meanwhile, is topside, doesn't have his passive up, but apparently the W was not up for the Viego, so he wasn't able to kind of root him in place and make sure that the kill did get sent over. Diana
It did.
Go ahead.
It did pop his passive up. The engage from Viego.
Okay. Diana did take lazy pathing as well as got both scuttles early on. Looks like they're trying to go for another thing. The passive is blown. Here's the W. It does land. They're chunking him down, and a kill does go over onto Caxi up in that top lane.
So Morgana is as we know, is on point with those roots. So
We do see the Alistar roaming to get deep vision into that bot side jungle. I think they might have saw him.
yeah, no, Brom
But-
definitely saw him. He's kind of going up there, but he uses the blast cone to kind of get out. So
That pink ward is going to be pivotal for them to find, though. If not, they're going to be able to see them walk in and out right there.
yep, yeah. I wonder if the mid laner plays Yasuo a lot. Like, I don't have their roster pulled up.
See the Diana come in mid lane. Just kind of poke down the Morgana.
Yeah, it wasn't very impactful in the sense that really Yasuo needs it to be. Morgana does hit 6, Yasuo hit 6, so now if that tornado hits her, he can go in and ult Morgana, so.
I think they're just trying to force Morgana onto a back there. She's sitting at no mana.
Yeah, but all she's gonna do is auto attack right now. the Seraphine is just poking them down bot lane. The first Drake is up. I don't see any jungler heading towards it. TPO Ghost doesn't really have a whole lot to pry out in bot lane right now, so.
Viego might potentially be caught out here. Doesn't play that right. Diana did path over, but not been
Mundo
seen.
can't really do a whole lot as he is behind, but he definitely doesn't know that Diana is there. Oh, jeez.
This might did go through for that Diana.
This might was from the Viego to secure the.
Viego didn't secure it. It's blue, not red.
Oh. They're not. I keep thinking they're on blue side.
Yep.
You guys are messing me all up. Ooh. Oh wow. This Trundle is showing no mercy to the window.
No, he's going building Divine Sunderer as well, so he's gonna be something that can shred those tanks.
Well, he's denying Mundo of CS. He's kind of just like beating him down. Yeah. Just as, like you said, it's a slow start to the game. I need some like big action, please.
Nothing. They've been bloody all the past couple games. Now they're slow.
Ooh. Trying to put that some damage.
Do you see the Viego trying to go in here? A massive Seraphine ult followed up by the Diana ult. Sentences down the three-man group of TPO goats. You wanted action, and there's the action. So 2 for 0 after with a good counter gank from that Diana. We're gonna get 2 kills and that first Drake of the game. Meanwhile, top side, Trundle did force Mundo to blow his ult.
Yeah. I think that Trundle is gonna have to be impactful in this game. Sivir is 0-1 where Seraphine's 2-0. 2-0. Ooh, nice ult coming out from Dathlo on Morgana. She does have the ignite. Was not used in that fight. Alistair is spotted on that Warden River, so they know that Diana and he were present. Sorry. Ooh. Nasu's taking some turret shots. Here is the
flash up the top side. Trundle tried blowing his ult, throwing out his ult and getting a kill. Trundle did use his teleport back there, but there's a 3-man squad coming up to make it a 1v4 up in top lane. Trundle's just moving, trying to get the Mundo, but isn't able to get it before he's ulted by the Yasuo. Good rotations, as the Diana's the one that was able to secure the kill there. Morgana's definitely going to have to try to pressure this wave, but they're just rotating down.
Yeah, Morgana needs to back up here.
Mr. Q and
the black shield, but no.
She's going to go down as well, as the Alistair just followed up on the Yasuo going back to lane. Clown Gaming's just kind of outmaneuvering TPO Goats right now in this early game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of saw it with the Yasuo, the Alistair knockout, the Diana knockout. I don't think Mundo has a knockout, so.
No, Mundo does not.
But here comes the
Another
Alistair too.
1v3.
There you go.
They're just
Oh,
not
no.
communicating as Alistair's just roaming around, proving to be more helpful than this Braum with a 100% kill participation. Fantasy Star is setting up this game for Clown Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been seemed to be very
And he's back mid.
proactive. Oh, jeez. Morgana does use a black shield. But, oh, nice. Root does get landed here. Mundo passive is packed up in top lane. As the two top laners just beat the living daylights out of each other. They both got bonks.
Sivir's now
bucket.
caught out of position as the Alistair's there. The spell shield does not come through. The
Oh my god.
It's like a breakdown in communication as Alistair's just able to roam all over the map against this team without even sacrificing the bot lane that much. Yeah, they got one turret plate, but it wasn't much. And now it's with a herald dropped that Seraphine's able to collect all the local gold. It's gonna be big. And a flash ult from Diana followed up by the Yasuo ult just shuts down the Morgana once again. A really rough start for this TPO Goats team as the game looks to be just in complete control for this Clown Gaming squad.
I really think I mean, I don't even know where the win con lies. If I get be in Diana, that is a one-fed Diana. That's something that any team really wants to see.
Diana's fed, Yasuo's fed, Seraphine's fed. Even Alistair has a good chunk of gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at the gold differences, and they're fairly even in bot lane. Like, they're not like it's not a massive diff.
In bot lane, there's not a huge diff. In mid lane, there's a massive difference. In jungle, there's a massive difference. There's a small difference in top lane, but it's not making up for anything.
No. I mean, at least Caxi got that ward taken out that was in his jungle. But Clown Gaming is setting up for Drake number 2. And I don't think that TPO Ghost wants to give over any more objectives. However,
I don't think that was something that they could contest.
No,
as of right now.
They can like that.
They have two mythics.
Play more safe.
They have 2 mythics on their team, and one of the mythics in top lane and wasn't there for that fight.
Yeah. Yasuo did rotate bot lane to leave Seraphine to deal with the Morgana. Probably an easier matchup for the Morgana. I don't know about Seraphine, but oh no.
We see another just group joint effort up in top side to get another kill onto that Trundle. Not a single lane currently ahead just because of the amount of pressure and the roams that have kind of existed this game for Clown Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah, TPO Goats is going to struggle to come back into this if they don't. I think Braum needs to be more active, but he just doesn't have what Alistair has. I mean, he's got the knockups, he's got the healing, and I don't see any heal cut being built yet. And the root does miss the Morgana. Herald is up in about a minute. I think it would be helpful to TPO Ghost to get that Herald.
I don't know if they can. We're seeing the Yasuo just pressuring down this turret, even with Sivir there. Seraphine's able to push equally with this Morgana as well. There's not really much to go forward with them feeling comfortable. The Mundo has a level lead onto this Trundle now. Yeah, there's the CS lead from early game, but the level and experience isn't there.
No. I mean, the Yasuo is even with Morgana, but it's just not looking too good. Cloud Gaming has prio in just about every lane, so. Oh, the Seraphine ult was blown just a little bit too early there. I think that they were thinking they can catch out the Braum, but he was able to get away. And Diana's just gonna go for this Herald.
TPO goats need to be doing something on this map. They're just kind of succeeding everything. Not much going for them. The Sivir had backed before that Herald, so that there wasn't even any pressure onto that bot turret. They're farming up, but I don't know what they can do without getting these
There's 4
bounty
people
goals.
here.
This is the full 5-man push. Mundo's sitting there in the sides. They can look to do what they did last game, which was the before 20-minute inhib turret, if it's done right.
No, the Herald took too much damage the first charge, so. Wow, the roaming on this team is insane, but it looks like Trundle might be able to get this top turret. Doesn't really have many minions to back him up, so he is taking some turret shots, but he's a Trundle. So at least they got a turret this game. I'm happy to see that. Because if I'm not... Oh no, they did get 1 turret last game. They got bot tier 1.
Yeah, and that was a late bot tier 1 last game.
Yeah.
They weren't able to do anything early on.
This is a little bit of a different Viego than we saw the first time, but also we saw the Diana get they allowed the Diana through.
For a second game in a row.
Oh no.
We see the Viego get caught out and forced to ult over the wall to escape in his own jungle. Just we're seeing the synergy of the Cloud Gaming team working together as it's kind of been a dismantling of this TPO Goats team. They're not working together. Sometimes it seems like they're not communicating otherwise besides pings.
Yeah, this Drake number 3. This is gonna put Cloud Gaming at soul point, and they really can't do much to fight it.
Yeah, and it's a Cloud Soul. They're gonna the people that are supposed to shred through the tanks are not gonna be able to shred through those tanks. The good flash from Morgana to get out of the Diana ult, but they're not able to follow up as the Seraphine ult gets 2. It's a 2 for 0 right now. Finally, the Diana goes down, gets shut down. Viego was topside farming his jungle and wasn't able to provide aid. They're trying to get this turret, but they aren't going to have enough.
No.
With the minions not there.
Viego is here, but like, is he able to really get anything? Oh, my director. Okay.
Looks like they're just kind of settling with backing off.
Baron is up. If they let them take Baron at 20 minutes, it's not good. No, si no bueno. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my mic decided to shut off.
Noise.
Yeah. I really don't know what to say.
We're seeing that Cloud Gaming's just looking to pressure this Baron. They have the gold. It's a 5,000 gold lead. They're just sitting there waiting, and the gold's on the right people as well. It's gonna have to be a big steal. Because Trundle's just split pushing bot side. They don't have much. Diana is rooted. The Viego goes over, and the smite is.
Oh my
The
god.
Baron is stolen by the Viego in a time that was definitely needed.
Play.
Caxi steps up and says, "Guys, it's okay. I got this. We'll stall it out and keep going." The Trundle is pushing heavy into this bot lane. We're seeing what the Trundle was picked for. He's taken one turret already and working on the second. He gets 2.
Is he gonna build Hullbreaker?
I do not know, but this Morgana overstayed and overstepped out. She is gone, and that is a Baron down. With the lack of vision, it's not safe to push up that far away from the turret with how many times that they're roaming, and they're roaming through. Full aware of
the Hullbreaker. The Hullbreaker. He did it. Thank you.
So they are just looking to do the Trundle in the side lane. See about making a difference there. Hopefully he can 1v1 some of these people. I don't know of yet. I thought Hullbreaker was one of those things that you had to build it and then take a turret though.
You do, but like, it does. I know it does have more effect, because it gives you bonus damage to,
But we see the Yasuo going in. The ult is blown by both carries. Yasuo is just getting shredded. Mundo does have to back off as Seraphine did blow her teleport, and not Mundo. Trundle was forced to back off as Mundo was roaming down and that Seraphine teleport was blown, but we're now seeing that in fact Trundle is able to say, hey, I can deal with you guys in a 1v1.
Well, if there's no allied champions near them, they gain armor and magic resist, and attacks deal 20% increased damage to towers. So
the goats are making some interesting movements. Trundle is now teleporting top lane.
I mean, he has to make an impact somewhere, and everyone else is on the bot side of the map.
This is Soul Point though.
It is Soul Point, but you also have someone who has the ability to take turrets with like 0 regrets.
But Viego's not even there. They're just gonna give Soul for some turrets. This feels more like desperation than anything. As this is likely gonna be uncontested because they're gonna be able to take it before Viego's even there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't gonna be able to get there. They did get some gold from the turrets, which puts
If they weren't gonna go for it though, the Sivir, the Morgana should have been pushing that mid lane. We do see the Diana dive in, trying to get as much as she can.
Ooh, a teleport from the Mundo and
the ult off onto the Sivir. The Viego's kind of out of position.
Trundle's gonna keep pushing. Mundo's gonna have to come down to answer that Trundle as the rest of the team pressures TPO goes back to their turret.
Now seeing that Hydra come and start to be built for that Trundle, which will help a lot for that wave clear. Viego stayed way too long, got caught out. The read onto the ult by the Seraphine, and Viego's gonna go down, caught out of position there.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of just like simple mistakes that are costing them a lot in this series. I think that Taxi is an amazing jungler. It's just I mean, I know a 3-game series is long and it's exhausting, and let's hold this together, else, this is gonna be game for Clown Gaming.
They're gonna have to see what they can come up with, as they're gonna be backing with a decent amount of gold on everybody. Trundle hasn't been effective in this split push since taking those tier 2 turrets.
Yeah. I mean, he is in Diana's jungle clearing it out as well as, farming. But whoever gets this Elder is going to win game. Or you get Baron and end. It's like really.
It's more likely gonna be Baron, and I think Caxie's gonna have to do another big steal like the previous one.
It looks like Emperor is saying that Elder is the win condition. It might be. I do think this Trundle is a win condition as well.
It's definitely something that he's got to stay conscious of. Mundo can heal up a lot. He's not taking turret shots, but he's taking a lot from those minions. He's chunked down.
Yeah. What is his ult, by the way?
Trundle?
Yeah.
It's like subdegration or something like that. It steals a huge ult and knock-up by Mundo. Essentially sentences this game now, as the full group goes over the wall to chase down the Viego. It's gonna be this could still be a potential Baron steal, but it's gonna be that much harder as they're not gonna need it. And we're seeing Mundo just beating down the Trundle that was supposed to beat him down, and he's gonna go down in the middle of teleport. Taxi's trying to go for the steal, but it's gonna have to flash away and try to walk out.
Yeah, there is no steal for this this Baron. We do have Elder out for the minute and 50 if Clown allows him to stay alive for that long. Because
Viego's still caught out trying to just run through the jungle.
Yeah, I like to be hopeful, but it is looking rough for the side of TPO goes. As impactful as Trundle was on those turrets, it just wasn't enough. And the Titanic Hydra is picked up by Trundle.
I just noticed what happened in that last fight. They sent Mundo to deal with Trundle because he has Anathema's chains for Trundle.
Oh, that makes sense. That's why he was able to do so much damage without taking. I honestly thought that. Yeah, I thought that Yasuo would have been more impactful. He is 3-0. Not saying that he didn't do anything, but an Annie pick there probably maybe would have been ideal into a Yasuo, but I don't think it was the matchup. I just think it was like when they had the time to pressure or take something, they just opted to back off. This is Elder. It's up in 10 seconds. If they give this is game.
I think Clown Gaming really baited out that Morgana pick this game. They went, he's gonna pick Morgana. We know this. But we're seeing a split between the 5-man of TPO Goats, as Diana's just able to go in. Morgana's trying to root it down, but the Trundle's already gone. The Morgana's gonna be quick to follow, and they're just trying to get anything out of here. Sivir flashes away, but in the wrong direction of her base. Diana's just chasing down the Braum.
Yeah.
not gonna be able to get out or survive much longer. Viego's trying to
Holy
escape, but
crap.
the Seraphine flashes for it. The stopwatch to um, delay the game, but
They don't
you're not
even
delaying
need.
anything. This is
They
gonna be
don't
game
need
for.
Elder.
Yeah, this is gonna be game and series for Clown Gaming.
Absolutely. An 11 and 1 Diana is not something that you can fight. I think that it was just unfortunate. But I mean, good games to both teams as they decided to fight Clown. Thank you to Cloud Gaming for allowing us to stream the game. And of course to our TPO goats for, allowing us to be a part of everything. We do appreciate you guys. Well played, both teams. I mean, Clown Gaming, you guys played great.
Yeah, it
So,
was a good series, tough series for each team in certain games. It was a tough game one for Clown Gaming, and then they kind of gave the goats the same treatment in game 2 and 3.
I think that like Clown Gaming gave us a false sense of security in game number 1, and we're like, oh wow, this is a decent matchup, and then they just got that Diana, and it was just like it was all over. But the Diana was great. Picks both games.
Yeah,
Very well
definitely
played. It was good
something.
to see a new team on the screen. Dark, you don't get any money.
I was talking
We're
about
not
points.
paying you.
Right, but
Yeah, I know he wants his prediction points.
that's gonna be it from us tonight. Thank you
Yes.
all of you that have tuned in to watch. For the
We.
TPO tournament series, the
Oh my
Zonite
God.
tournament series, that won't be starting up until um, next
Next
weekend
weekend.
because we are taking a break this weekend due to the Easter holiday for those that celebrate it. Happy Easter for those that do celebrate that are watching. But I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and to have a nice night.
Have a great night.
Yeah.